My 35M wife, 36F of 7 years, leaves me to be on her own, but starts seeing someone else after a week but refuses to say she left me for him. Please help. Please accept my apologies for the format. I'm writing this on my phone. It'll be a lengthy one, but I really need advice since I believe she's lying and attempting to make me the bad guy. Copies of our text conversation will be sent here. So I've been with her for 11 years, married for 7, and have a 5-year-old kid. Our marriage and relationship had been wonderful until she changed drastically in March of this year. To cut a long tale short, she told me she was sad and didn't know why, but she wanted to be alone. We underwent weekly marital therapy for 6 months till she left, and the major reason she told myself, friends, and family was that she has always been in and out of relationships, and she needs to be alone and experience living on her own. She is scheduled to depart on August 19th. We've been separated for 3 months, and she's gone out of her way to tell me how great it is to be alone and how she's working on herself. She joked that she's virtually a virgin again after not having been intimate with anybody since me and we broke up, and she'd tell me she's doing a cleansing and even gave me a YouTube link explaining why it was good and why I should do it. I can't bear the thought of being with anybody else. I had a sneaking suspicion she was seeing someone else, but she assured me she wasn't. As part of our co-parenting agreement, we committed to notify the other person if we moved on or had a romantic relationship with someone. I trusted her. Let's fast forward to Sunday evening. While our kid is sleeping, we are enjoying some, probably too many, Halloween beverages at my house. She claims she's had too much to drink and wants to sleep in my house. She falls asleep, inebriated at 2 a.m., and begs me to retrieve her phone for her before drifting off. Now I see what I did next was incorrect. But I had so many gut sensations and reasons to believe she was with someone else. I rummaged through her phone. The first few messages I receive on Instagram from a man she messages are all, "I'm looking forward to seeing you tonight so you can fling me around the bedroom. I'm going to give you a right now. After work, all I want to do is kiss you for an hour straight." My heart is beating, and I panic, waking her up to face her. She first attempts to get out of it by lying until I show her my phone and confess to looking through it. I apologize and recognize that what I did was incorrect. She says that she began him a week after we broke up, and that they sleep at one another's residences 2 or 3 times a week. She claims it's merely casual, that they're not in a relationship, and that he's just a companion. He, on the other hand, is someone exceptional, and she now considers him one of her greatest pals. I'm devastated. I still love her, and she has given me reasons to hope that we may be able to work it out. I asked her why she lied so much about not being with or sleeping with anybody else, and she said it was because if I knew she was sleeping with someone, I would do the same in revenge, and she couldn't stand it. I remarked on how heinous and self-centered that is. She claimed she'd tell me about him when she was ready, and that once it was serious and they were in a relationship, but now it's nothing. They have no expectations of one another. It is just with a buddy. She also assures me that they were not conversing when we were together, and that since we had been separated, it was all right and none of my concern. That is not accurate in the least. I feel this has been going on for quite some time, even emotionally when we were together, and that she has abandoned our family for him. She's not the sort to rapidly someone. I suppose her intention was to keep it a secret until she thought she had enough time to introduce him without being shamed after an 11-year relationship. She claims she has not even informed her closest friends about him. My questions are, Reddit, do you believe she had this planned all along? Has she abandoned me for someone else? Is her interaction with him considered a relationship? Feels she attempting to project nonsense onto me because she is guilty? Below is a text conversation from the morning after. From me to her, "Hey, thanks for the conversation last night. I'm completely absorbed by all of this, huh? It's totally screwed me over. I hope you could see I'm not furious, and I'm not going to do something dumb or attempt to make your life difficult. I'm simply very wounded. I believe that is the most in my life, and I know you understand. I appreciate you attempting to address my questions about what this is all about, but in the real world, a relationship isn't defined by someone you see in public, tell your friends about, or go to dinner with in public. You've never been really alone for more than a week, and that is the fact that you must face. You never completed what you set out to achieve, which is why you left. It wasn't someone you slept with once and regretted. You've continued to do so, and you've developed a connection with him to the point that you've informed me he's now your best buddy. I know you truly wanted to spend time alone, but you didn't, and if you believe you did, you're lying to yourself, and you know it. Yes, you spent some time alone at your home or elsewhere, but you were thinking about someone else. Given that the major reason you left me was to be on your own, the fact that you never accomplished it and lied about it will always pain and confound me. I simply need to accept that you left me and everything we had with someone else. You made a conscious choice to fill the vacuum with someone else, despite the fact that it would devastate me. I have to remember that. I know you would have thought long and hard about it, but you selected him in private, away from everyone else, a week after you left. You're not going to confess that to yourself, but it's true. You've told everyone you left me to be on your own, but you've been with him in secret, so no matter how you spin it to yourself and others, you abandoned me to be with him, and I'm sure time will prove it since you've already made up your mind. Yesterday was a shambles for both of us. Let's hope today is a bit better. Her answer. I get the impression you're attempting to narrate and control the discussion in order to make yourself feel better about the situation. I did not abandon you for someone else. I left a marriage that was no longer nurturing or developing for me. In the meanwhile, I'm dating someone who makes leaving a relationship after 11 years seem a little bit simpler. I hope you have a great day today, but I hope you think about our chat. You've spent the whole of this discussion telling me that I've abandoned you for someone else, and I'm sorry, but that's just not the case, and it's simply what you want to hear rather than dealing with what our genuine issues were, and I won't be an enabler for that. We both need to examine what went wrong in our marriage, and it wasn't someone else's fault. Is it making things easier? Yes. Do I take a glance back? Yes. But that's because I didn't abandon you for another. I had to leave you for other reasons. I'd never look back if I abandoned you for someone else, and you know it deep inside. I wish you a pleasant day. Please assist me, Reddit. Edit. I just wanted to say a heartfelt thank you everyone who took the time to respond, provide advice, contact me, send links, and suggest books. Everything. It really made the most terrible period in my life a little bit easier and enabled me to take steps forward that I would not have taken for months otherwise. I will be eternally thankful to you all. Story 2. Wife seems serial cheater, but maybe she has problems. We are in our late 30s and married 12 years ago. I discovered her with her ex after the first year, but they hadn't met in person. I wanted to break up with her, but she wept and said she wouldn't do it again. To be honest, I still feel upset when I think of those times. I found her again 3 years later as she was with a coworker for weeks. I was completely broken. I was going to divorce, but it never got any farther than texting, so I have no clue why, but I gave her another opportunity. In the meanwhile, our child was born. Things seemed to be fine, for a time. She was caught with a third man around 3 years later. Then I realized I was absolutely broken mentally, so I told her she had to go. I eventually gave her another opportunity after a few weeks of pleading and sobbing. Obviously, we already had a child, so that drove me as well. I caught her with one of her coworkers again a few days ago. That's the fourth man we dated since we were married. She claims that she believes something is wrong with her. She seems to have a strange addiction to believing that other males desire her. She wouldn't meet up with these individuals but she needs the sensation that they want her, and she wants to feel the pink cloud again and over. She claims, and I see it, that she is unable to restrain herself. Now I've told her straight that I want a divorce, and that I'm not going to do this anymore. She's been weeping for 2 days. She also has other problems. She is unable to manage her rage. It's as though she erupts on little thoughts that wouldn't affect other people. She has days when she totally shuts down and ignores everything around her, simply playing with her phone and spending whole days in bed. On other days, she rushes about cleaning, cooking, etc., as if she is late, and on other occasions, she irritates herself by shouting and smashing things. However, only close family members have access to these. Outside of close relatives, she exhibits an entirely distinct personality. According to what others observe, she is bubbly, often smiling and speaking. She's been like this for at least 10 years, according to what I know. I haven't been able to sleep in 2 days and have hardly been able to eat. I'm completely devastated. I'm at a loss on what to do. I want a divorce, but I don't want a divorce right now. I have a hunch this isn't her purpose, but she has some significant issues. Or am I just trying to rationalize her awful behavior? I'm at a loss for what to do or how to approach this.